Every second of my day as an SMMA owner is scheduled out in advance. Not because it's required, but because it's really the only way to truly optimize. Missed hours don't do reruns. Manage your clock or it will manage you. This is a tweet that I recently wrote, or X'd, or whatever they're calling it now. But time management has been a secret weapon of myself and of Derek's over the past decade. There are really two key secrets that have contributed to Derek and I being able to scale our agency to 7 figures per year. That is time management and consistency. If you manage your time and you manage your day effectively, the sky is really the limit in terms of how far your agency can grow. But in this video, I'm going to give you an overview of my schedule, how I manage my time, and center points of my day that contribute to my success. My day actually begins the night before. I run my life and my business by the motto, plan your work and work your plan. And this is something that a mentor, Ron, of both Derek and myself, instilled in us very early in both of our careers. I look at my tasks, I set priorities, and then I organize everything digitally the night before so that I'm thinking about it before I go to sleep. Your subconscious mind is able to think at a rate of 60 to 80x your conscious mind. So many believe that you're already thinking and strategizing about these tasks before you go to sleep without even expelling any conscious thought on it. I find that this actually rockets me into productivity the next morning when it's time to get to work, because I've already processed and formulated ideas in my subconscious mind before my workday even starts. This way I know exactly what needs to get done and can get started like a rocket ship. In terms of time, I typically wake up at around 4:30 in the morning. I'm an early riser, and something about my personality has me getting up and enjoying being up and getting things done before most people even begin to start their day. I also work out with a bodybuilder every single morning who is far further along his fitness journey than I am, and he works a 9 to 5, so I kind of need to adhere to his schedule and work out on his timelines. This is about an hour earlier than I probably would naturally wake up by choice. Once I wake up, the first thing that I start doing is getting into my vitamin and my supplement routine. I have a pretty strict supplement routine that includes vitamins, pre and post workout protocols, recovery, and nootropics. A few highlights are lion's mane, which helps with brain health and is a nootropic, cordyceps, which is a mushroom that helps with your cardiovascular system and recovery, and reishi, which is another mushroom that helps with recovery and helps me unwind and recover towards the end of the day. I also take a probiotic, which helps with gut health as well as performance, and a few different fiber and gut supplements like psyllium husks. Make sure that you're getting enough fiber. Most people are grossly deficient in this. I also take a few pre-workout supplements first thing in the morning, but I always wait for 30 minutes after waking up per instruction of our Lord and Savior, Andrew Huberman. I'm a big fan of BPN supplements by Nick Bare. I take BPN Flight as my pre-workout. There's about 200 milligrams per serving of caffeine in there, which is also another nootropic. I put a scoop of their electrolytes in with my pre-workout as well. After I've woken up, I've taken my supplements, I first head to the gym. I usually get there between 5:15 and 5:30, and then it's time to jump on the treadmill for what I call Treadmill University. This is a highlight of my day because I'm always trying to learn something new, and I usually do learn something new while I'm actually on the treadmill. I like to learn productivity tips, day-in-the-life videos from aspirational entrepreneurs, podcasts, but really it's just all with a lens of trying to learn something new that I can bring into my day and maybe even implement right away. After I finish up on the treadmill, it's time to get into some weightlifting. This is the hardest part of my day, and the reason I love working out in the morning is nothing that you do later in the day is going to be more difficult than that insane workout that you put yourself through first thing in the morning. I lift for 90 minutes with a bodybuilder, and I really want you guys just to understand the importance of mentorship. I've always been into fitness, and I always really wanted to be and look like bodybuilders. I mean, who doesn't? Over the past year, I've been able to actually train alongside an actual bodybuilder. It's opened my eyes to a completely new level of training that has just reset my new normal of what you actually do and how productive you can be during your time in the gym. This has completely reset my new normal when it comes to fitness, and the old me never in a million years would have trained as hard as I do on a daily basis now. And I never would have been able to do this without my bodybuilding friends' mentorship taking me along and showing me the ropes. This is why it's so important to surround yourself or work alongside or learn from people that are at least at your level, if not further ahead than you. This helps you set a new standard for yourself. When Derek and I were first getting started in our professional careers, we were working alongside people that had all of the success that we wanted to achieve. We got to see what they were doing. We got to shadow them in our 9 to 5 jobs. And then we were able to bring that to our agency and rocket ourselves to success. This is a big reason of why we have our private inner circle community of agency owners that have purchased the SMMA Blueprint inside our SMMA Blueprint course. Having others around you that are sharing their success, questions, and overall momentum really helps reset that level of what you think is possible by seeing your peers go and implement all of this stuff into their daily lives and start seeing results. It's only natural that when you start seeing that that is possible, you start believing it's possible, and you start resetting that standard for yourself. After my 90 minutes of torture at the gym, the next thing that I do is I start heading to one of two places to join our our morning meeting. I either head home to my home office here that I'm sitting in right now, or I head to our WeWork office in Scottsdale, where it's just a different place that I can go and work and have a desk and have a nice place to work at. Changing your work environment periodically is really huge for being able to go deep, be able to enter flow state, and just really crank through the workday and get a lot of things done. And I find that if I work in the same place day after day, week after week, I tend to get bored and I start really struggling to enter that flow state and to be really productive. Once I get to our place of work, it's time for our morning meeting. We do this every single morning, and it's our chance to chat with the team, get updates, talk about any challenges that they might be encountering, and really more than anything, just get the whole team together, have our culture, rally the energy, and get aligned on the mission for the day or the mission for the week. This completely changed the game for accountability, but most importantly, they started creating an actual culture within our agency, which we really didn't have before. Everybody was kind of doing their own thing, and nobody really aligned or knew what the whole team was working on together. Performance went up, client results went up, our stress went down, and we started hanging on to clients longer because the results were better. What's nice is that now we've grown to a point where Derek and I joined the morning meeting, but we no longer actually have to run it. We've got some amazing team members on board that run all of our operations, run the management of the team, and they actually handle that morning meeting, and Derek and I are just there to bring the energy and rally the troops. After the morning meeting, I like to spend the first half of my actual workday speaking with clients and talking about client results or having pitches and all that good stuff. I like to schedule these first thing in the day so that I can crank through them, because I typically like to have at least 3 to 4 hours in the afternoon to really focus on deep work and just having that flow state to be productive and do what I need to do for the business. Also, having these first things in the morning means that I can get any changes or optimizations that need to happen to our team that is mostly overseas, so they can get started on it before the end of their workday. I love having this just done before the first half of the day so that I can have 4 to 5 hours to go deep on work, or to go to a coffee shop, or sit in my pool, or to go for a bike ride or a run, or whatever it is that I want to do with my afternoon. As I mentioned before, around noon, I grab a quick lunch, something healthy so that it actually fuels the energy for my afternoon activities. And then my afternoon is all about going deep on work, running through my checklist of activities, or as I just mentioned, any number of extracurricular activities that I might want to go and do before 5 p.m. when I start my evening unwind. Just like my morning routine sets the standard and puts the emphasis on a positive day, put a lot of emphasis on my evening routine and my evening unwind as well. I try and stop working on anything agency related before 5 p.m. every day. I then get into any number of things. I like to jump in my pool, which is an amazing luxury, and just jump in the water and just wash off the workday. I'll hang out there for a few minutes and then get cleaned up and start watching some YouTube on something that is not work related or productivity related. Start spinning some vinyl records, or maybe listening to some music, hang out with my dogs and my beautiful fiance, whatever it is that I want to do with my evening. I also love going for a walk every single night without fail around golden hour or sunset with my dog Atlas. This really helps me just reset my mind from work and to start thinking about unwinding. This is also around the time that I start looking at my tasks for the next day, as I mentioned earlier, and just getting mentally prepared and in sync with what my biggest priorities for that next day are. This helps me program my subconscious mind to already be thinking about these tasks and even already have some solutions for anything that I might need to problem solve for the next morning. A great video to watch after this one would be this one right here, where my business partner Derek actually talks you through how to start your own social media marketing agency completely from scratch if you're a complete beginner.